Are we recording? Yep. Okay, so here we go. Sitting here today with EMPERIC from the new, goddammit. Sitting here, God, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
And it starts.
And it starts soon.
Deep breath, Ryuchi.
Sitting here with Fortnite player EMPERIC today. How you doing, EMPERIC?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing quite Gucci indeed. We've known each other for quite a while, so this might be a little bit more, I don't know what the right word. Laid back, relaxed, not safe for work.
We're gonna enjoy ourselves.
Whatever you want to say.
We're gonna have a good time. I'm telling you that much. We're gonna have a good time.
So let's start off with a little bit of who you are. Yeah.
So my name's Eric. I'm 18 years old from Massachusetts. Been playing competitive video games for, God, 5 years now. I'm 18. Yeah, started when I was 13. Started off with some minor titles, some fun stuff with friends. And I think my first true competitive experience was with Overwatch when it first came out in open beta. It was, or not open beta, excuse me, closed beta. And it was fun. I had my times. I made a bunch of memories, met a lot of people, including you, iKhoN. So it was good times. And I moved on to Paladins, and then had a stint with you in Breakaway, which was good times. And now I'm here playing Fortnite for Alliance.
Fort Nizzle. Alliance is a pretty big org. They're pretty cool so far. I haven't really followed them too much as an organization, but I have heard of them from multiple people, from multiple sources, and I haven't heard anything bad about them, especially the staff and how they do things. So I'm pretty excited for you to be on a nice homebred, cornbread team, whatever you want to call it. Nice American. Is it their American team or they?
No, they're actually European.
A nice
they're out of Sweden.
European Swedish team.
We're actually the first true NA roster coming out of their organization. Their other NA, technically NA, is their H1 Pro League team that's set out in Vegas right now. They recently moved there, and the org has been helping to get them settled in and stuff like that. They're still working on some stuff there, but we're their true first cornbread, homebred team.
Cornbread, homebred team there, dog. God bless. That's sick, though. That's awesome. That's cool.
It's a fun experience to help branch out the Alliance name to North American territory, and I'm excited to be a part of that.
It's international now. It's international.
It's crazy. It's good. Some good stuff coming out here from Alliance. And
international known.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the other games that you've played, especially in like your free time? Do you play any other titles in your free time, or are you just straight Fortnite right now?
Right now, I've been doing lots of Fortnite. Obviously, we scrim from 7 p.m. to midnight, more or less, give or take. Lately, it's been a little rough because still no customs. Daily reminder for customs, by the way, Epic. Anyways, it's a little rough out here. So, but on my spare time, been playing Dauntless a lot lately. Been messing around with that and been messing around some other games. But I'm not really too much of a single player guy. I usually have this argument with Chronic, another one of the Redacts members, a lot. He hates me for it not being a single player person. But I'm gonna change that. We're gonna change that soon.
Oh, bless. Yeah, there's a lot of good single player titles out there. Yeah, not a lot for everyone, but I still have to go through like the Witcher series. I own all of them. Never played any of them.
Witcher is really good. I'm excited for Kingdom Hearts 3 though. Ooh,
yeah, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. E3's coming up soon.
I'm hyped.
Well, by the time this video comes out, it would probably be even closer.
Close to over, yeah. Not sure if it'll be over.
So what would you say? What games have you put the most time into so far as a competitive player?
As a competitive player, I think the game that I put in the most time was Overwatch. Fortnite is coming up close, but I think Overwatch, I spent a lot of time crafting my skills. With Overwatch, it was a little bit different because I hopped right into it from an early start. I got in day one of beta access. One of my close friends, or at the time close friends, got me in through his Blizzard Connect, and I grinded. Like I spent a lot of time playing that game.
You spent a good handful of years. Was like 2 years or something playing?
I spent, give or take, 2 years. I went through a lot of teams, like a lot of AM teams. I had a stint on the Elevate roster, which was interesting to say the least. Learned a lot from that. And I think my best roster was when I was with McRightclicks. We were an upcoming semi AM, semi pro team. We were on the rise. Um, we were literally right behind at the time, which was Rise Nation. Well, picked up Gecko Fox, which got picked up by Rise Nation. My guys over Faz and some of the other guys who are now over actually Simplicity playing in contenders. They're good people. Shout out to them. But at the time, after that stint with McRae Clicks, I kind of moved away from Overwatch and I moved on to other titles like Paladins, which was very similar. And I had a decent amount of time with that, like from October to March, October of I think 2016 to March of 2017, and then from that point on, I again swapped games over to Breakaway, where me, you, Chronic, and Trader played um, under Enix.
Man, rip Breakaway.
Rest in peace. Good
Always
times.
forever in our hearts. All right, so let's go into the real nitty gritty of things. What are your current thoughts on the? Let me word that different. So let's get into the nitty gritty. What are your thoughts in the current patch of Fortnite?
So with the current patch of Fortnite, it's interesting to say the least. The game's becoming more casual central, I guess is the best way to word it. As much as I love the game and I love the job Epic is doing, they're being very transparent with everything. With the recent addition, now this isn't this patch specifically, but the recent addition of jetpacks, which was the patch previously, was not fun. It allowed casuals or players in general to get high ground very easily, and building is the main skill gap of the game. So when you give a player the ability to take away that skill, essentially, it's not fun, especially for a player like me that I'm very like set in stone when it comes to things about being skillful. And I like games that show that there is depth to it, and building is that thing in Fortnite. When you rip that away from the hands of a player, it's rough. On top of that, the recent changes as of yesterday, June 7th, they changed traps again. So they previously nerfed traps down to 75 damage to only from 125 to only buff it 100% and make traps hit 150 per hit now, which, to say the least, very rough from Epic's end. It looks like they don't know what they're doing, because when you take something, nerf it, and then buff it again by 100% over to what you nerfed it from, that's just, I think that's dumb.
They were like, well, we're going to take all the damage away from the shotguns. We'll just throw that
We'll
over to the
just throw
traps.
it on. Yeah, exactly. And that was another thing I was going to bring up, shoddies right now. So it's weird. I felt like I wasn't, so obviously I get mad. Everyone gets mad. You get a little mad. You get one pump, you're like, what the hell is this game? This game's trash, right? It happens to everyone.
Yeah.
But the point is that one pumping required aim. It was a very, if you could land it, it was because you could aim. You had to have a perfect bloom headshot. You still had to hit that headshot. Now with the damage being lowered and bloom being bloom random, it's kind of rough. People are hitting, I've seen people hit headshot numbers for 32 and stuff like that. And right now, it seems like blue pumps are worse than tactical shotguns right now. And it seems like heavy shotguns are reigning king. So it's
Yeah.
weird. The meta's a little weird.
That's what I was about to say.
That's
I've
how I
been running a bunch of heavies, and it's Deagle heavy, and it's just like
Yeah, it's
unstoppable.
really good. I've been running double heavy, and it's been best way to put it.
God bless. Oh, Papa bless. So with the recent, I guess not so recent anymore, but semi-recent announcement of the $100 million that Epic's throwing into
Mm.
Fortnite Esports, where do you think a lot of that money is going to go?
So to start off, E3 had their Pro AM tournament, and I know some of that money, not a lot, some of it's going to charity, which is great. I'm pretty sure. Well, I should say I'm pretty sure it's a part of the 100 million that they announced. And I think it's 1 or 2 million that's going towards charity for the winners. It's split between the winners. Each winner chooses a charity and they send off the money to it, which is awesome. By the way, Epic did a great job with doing that. But I think the prize money in general is going to be split. And I want to say, I really hope, this is just being hopeful, that it's a circuit based tournament style where it's you qualify to play in a circuit and then you play multiple tournaments over, I guess, a season, and then that money gets distributed as is, either through online qualifiers or tournaments, and then maybe even at the end of like the circuit season, offline LAN. Hopefully, I think at the end of the day, we all want to go to a LAN. I'm speaking. Hopefully, I'm speaking for all of the Fortnite community. Everyone wants to go to a LAN tournament. I think in their life, if you're in esports, a LAN is like your. That's when you made it. Is when you go to LAN.
It's like end game gear, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you play any MMOs or RPGs, I hope they do well with the amount of money that they're going to be putting in. Hope they're smart with it. I think they'll do well, but I guess we don't know if that's just prize pools or if that's covering all the tournament expenses and stuff like that as well. Because if it's, for example, if the slot at E3 for the Pro Am tournament, if all of that money is coming out of the 100 mil as well. For example, if they did some big Vegas thing or tournament or LAN, would the expenses for running that come out of the 100 mil, or would that 100 mil just be for prize tournaments?
I'm pretty confident the way they described it that it would be strictly for prize pool, because the way they were talking about it was that the 100 mils would be to support Fortnite Esports and to support prize money, not to be. I think it's going to be separate when it comes to budgeting. I think it's going to be prize money is going to be 100 mil, and then they have a separate budget for hosting the events or support or like whatever they plan to do with events. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because event slots, when you're doing LAN events and you're doing expos and stuff, they're really expensive. I know slots can get up to $1 million just to book the slot, especially like TwitchCon and stuff. It was like $1 million if you wanted a stage slot for a game.
I think right now is they're banking on the investment of Fortnite, because as you can tell, Fortnite's huge. Everyone knows about Fortnite. Between my mom, my cousin, my brother, anyone, like I can ask anyone on the street, hey, you play Fortnite? And I guarantee at least 90 out of those 100 people will say, yeah, no, I love Fortnite, or I play it all the time.
Yeah,
so I think they're banking. I hate getting one pumped, but I think overall they're just banking on that investment of Fortnite Esports doing good and going with it and taking that 100 million to hopefully stretch out the Fortnite brand and turn into a competitive title, into being successful for esports. Because if you look at games like League of Legends, Overwatch, I could see Fortnite being the League of Legends of Battle Royale, where at the end of the day, there could be a buy-in league with, I don't know, $20 million team slots, or where all the players, are getting some kind of paid salary and just playing in that yearly kind of tournament style season. Or not yearly. Yeah, for League of Legends, it's yearly. I know for Overwatch, I think it's yearly still, actually. Not too sure, but I think that's the end game for Epic here, is to make sure their game is super successful when it comes to esports.
Yeah, I was going to bring franchising up as well. I didn't know what your thoughts were on that. I think for the longevity, a lot of these bigger esports games and titles and stuff are going for more franchise type of tournament system. So I guess we'll see what they end up doing. If they end up doing more of like a qualify for a circuit, or if they do a pro league where you have to go through like a contenders or an amateur or whatever, and then get into the pro league for that season. I know like R6 does something similar where you have to qualify to get into the pro league for that season.
I think long term their goal is most likely franchising, like I said. But right now, I believe for the 2018 to 2019 season, I guarantee it'll be a lot of open qualifier bracket style tournaments where people have to qualify to make it to events and stuff like that, unlike the franchising leagues. I think long term, if they do franchise leagues, there has to be something like Overwatch Contenders or Challenger League, whatever it may be, to help support that up and coming scene, because there needs to be a path from amateur to professional in any esports title. If there isn't that path, then what's the point of having players play to become a pro level player? If all it is just connects and not skill, then is professional league really, competitive?
The highest of the high?
Yeah. No,
skill
exactly.
wise, yeah. I agree.
Exactly. So I think having them they need to look at, if they do a franchise league, they need to look at having a path from amateur to professional. And I think that's what Overwatch, it took them a while to understand, and they're doing it well now with Overwatch Open, Overwatch Contenders, and then the league. They have that proper path. So if you're doing well in Contenders, and even though it's only the first season of the league, I think next season we're going to see a lot more newer faces from Contenders be put into the league, because people are going to see that those players come in.
I agree. Let's transition over to your team. First, let's talk a little bit about how your team came to be, who's all on your team, and we'll go from there.
So on my team, obviously myself, of course. I am a pretty good player. I'm scratching that. Hold on.
Can we just cut that? Cut that out of
Yeah,
the.
cut that
Let's
shit
cut
out.
that.
Okay.
Record scratch. All right, restart.
So my team, obviously, myself, my teammate over, captain of the team, Perplex, Aaron. He is a fantastic player. Number one. Number two, he is our in-game leader. We, I met him playing in the Discord after me and iKhoN's old team was, split. I made connects, made my rounds, was trying out for some teams, and I met up with the X Simplicity roster. And the Simplicity guys were looking for one, because at the time they needed someone to fill a gap that was missing. So I was trying out with one of my old teammates and now current teammates, Eternal, and we were kind of, I wouldn't say fighting over the spot. They were clearly decisive on picking up Eternal because Eternal is a solid player. I said, all right, but he offered me a spot as coach manager. I At the time I didn't really have anything else going for me, so I decided I was going to come on as a coach slash manager for the roster to help support them at the time. Well, recently, Robbie, shout out to him, he recently had to step down due to some personal stuff going on, so I had to take place, and I am now the new fourth. But my team, we've been together for about month and a half as a full four, and I love the guys that love playing with them. Stevie Freezy 3K, he's a fantastic player as well, but he's like that silly. He's a little silly, to say the least. He's a bit of a goon.
Man, everyone
But
got to
love him to
get.
death. He's got a personality. Yeah, he's definitely the Gek of the group, but he's got a personality. He's funny. And then obviously, last but not least, I was talking about him before. Eternal. Eternal is another great player on the squad, and he's been nothing but great. Really, like there's nothing else I can say. I've known him for a while. I used to compete against him in Breakaway, and he's always looking to learn, always looking to do better, and just love him. It's like a brother to me.
Nice. What are your thoughts if someone were to come up to you and say, "Hey, Eric EMPERIC Meteorosos, what how do I get on a competitive Fortnite team? What do I do? What's the best way for people to get in your position currently?"
So best way right now is start with step one. Seeing as there isn't customs, there isn't tournaments. Right now, there's a step one BR league. That is the true way of kind of stepping up in the ranks. Because if you succeed well in the step one BR league, you can manage to get yourself into the professional Discord. Right now, there's two actually, the East and the West Coast Discord. And you can kind of make your name there if you do well in the step one Discord. That's literally the only way to really show off and show your skills and become the best.
Nice, 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 nice. In a previous video that I did, we went over some of the step one stuff. You guys can go check out that video. All the links and stuff will be in the description of that video. I'll probably just put them down here as well if I remember. What are your plans? Or I should say, what do you have any plans for you and your team for the upcoming future, or is it just scrims and playing and waiting to get those invites to the big cool LAN events?
Immediate future. Right now, we're going to be obviously scrimming. Lots of practice is going to be coming soon. We're going to be including streaming as well. I've started streaming again in the mornings. So it's going to be a lot more content creation as well on top of gaming. So in the day we're going to be doing content creations. Lots of stuff is coming for you guys. You guys can look forward to that, especially with Alliance assisting us in pumping out this content, which I'm very excited for. It's going to be some good stuff coming your way, including some maybe some interesting stuff.
Some good memes. Well, that's all the questions that I had that I would like to go over with you. I don't know if you have anything else that you'd like to talk about or anything else to bring up before we end.
No, not that I can
Well,
think of it.
all right then. Well, it's about that time. So, where can people find you at?
You can find me over at twitch.tv/EMPERIC. And you can find my Twitter at twitter.com/empiric.gg. Did I say, God, scratch that.
Scratch it, cut it, run it back.
Got it. Back.
Record scratch sound again.
You can find me over at twitch.tv/empiric and find my Twitter at twitter.com/empiricgg. You can also find my team Alliance, twitter.com/alliancegg. And quick shout out to my sponsors, Monster and Alliance, or DX Racer, excuse me. Very excited to be on the Alliance brand. It's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a good year.
It's gonna be a good overall year for everyone. Hopefully, everyone that's watching this is having a good year as well. It's been a good year for everyone, I think. All the breakaway guys are doing well. Everyone's out and about doing all that stuff. So hopefully, you have a good time on the team with you guys and Eternal and all them. And hopefully, this new team will bring you a bunch of goodies and cash money and fairies and shit and whatever else comes with being on
That's
a big
what I want.
fancy
I want
org.
the fairies. I need myself a nice little servant fairy, run around my house.
Some anime
Get me
stuff.
Monster when
some
I need
weeaboo.
it. Some weeaboo stuff too. But I'm looking forward to the monster deliveries. Just saying.
Do those come on like 18-wheeler trucks? They come in like monster
trucks?
trucks?
But the 18-wheeler monster trucks are like decorated and pimped out in fairy gear too.
God bless. All right, we're cutting it there. We're cutting it there. God bless. All right, guys. Until next time.
Peace.